let's say one of the things I was known for on the internet was when I did a conversation, an exposure about people in the hip hop culture and not talking about other prolific people in the hip hop culture who were there back in the 80s and so on and so forth. So what I did is I did a parallel post on Facebook, and I think it's also on Instagram somewhere down on the timeline, where I put name a dancer that started in hip hop from I think the 70s and 80s that also hooked up other dancers from the 70s or 80s. And it's funny how small the names were. And I said, everybody, now look at this. My name came up a lot because I hooked up a lot of people from the 80s and the 90s. So, but it was about people from the original time hooking up people who were near the original time. So what that means is like, if hip hop, stand up, party rock, and that kind of thing, hip hop freestyle started in the 80s, then my question was, who did people from that time hook up people when that time got popular? So that would be, say, like 85 to 92, right? Or 93. And it was small names. It was almost little to none. And I asked also, when did they hook you up? So what ended up happening was people were talking about people that hooked them up sometime in the millennium. While I was hooking up people in 91. You know what I'm saying? Like at the apex of it, which for most people in the unfortunately colonized, created, labeled streets, poor in neighborhoods, low income neighborhoods, they've been taught this unfortunate fear of believing someone will take their jobs. And that sounds crazy to me because I don't come from that kind of colonized area. I come from more of an upper middle class area. And went to school in a very rich area or elite area. So in those concepts, we know only one body can fulfill a space. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm in Africa teaching, there's no way I can be in Japan at the same time.
Right.
It's not possible. But this kind of brainwashing is in those colonized, created, labeled low-income areas, poor areas. So you'll have people who will block their own peers and allow a dancer who's never studied what they do to now come in. Which is how everything's been getting watered down for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
It's really sad to watch when you're a part of it. It's really sad to watch. It's sad. It's sad. You've never seen a full out show with all the great quote unquote OGs and legends, not even yet. And that's embarrassing